I got spoiled. I got spoiled.
This is probably gonna end up sounding like me being like, oh, you hurt my feelings. I love this game. But you know what? I don't even care. But yeah, that's how it's gonna sound like probably. People are acting as if this story was written by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss.
Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces. They certainly haven't forgotten about her.
Alright, so The Last of Us. It was released around it was released pretty much almost exactly 7 years ago from when the second game came out. And everybody loved it, including like everybody, like the critics and all that. So I'm not here to justify the critics for why they give The Last of Us Part 2 a 10 out of 10. People can like whatever they want. Everybody has their own opinion. But there's this mob mentality that just doesn't make any sense regarding the game. A lot of people hate the game without even playing it. A lot of people comment on the game and they probably never even played the original. I understand where the leaks came from, but the context really does matter. And then people just flat out say lies and don't give anything a chance. Then you got some YouTubers that are just flat out saying a bunch of nonsense. Well, not nonsense, but giving their opinions, and everybody in the comments just automatically goes along with it just to hate on it. For example,
it'll have you brutally murder some random person, and then 6 hours later it'll give you a flashback of who that person was and why you should feel guilty for what you did. But by that point you've already fucking forgotten about that because that character had no weight at the time.
The intention of the game was for you to kill these people who were obviously, I mean, they killed Joel in the beginning. They make you hate these people. While playing as Ellie in the beginning, you're supposed to side with Ellie when it comes to that. Like the game was designed for you not to care about those characters. So when Ellie killed them, you're completely on her side and everything until you find out, oh, maybe they weren't so bad at all. And if you forgot about them after a course of 12, you can't forget about them because immediately you go into Abby's story and Owen died right before. I'm assuming that's one of the brutal deaths. He's literally like the main person that Abby discusses in her backstory. So how did you forget about them?
Video support this stupid game out of spite because they've created a million visible enemies. So anybody to the right of Marx is alt-righter, Nazi, sexist, woman-hating, transphobic, homophobic person, incel, and those are all the only people that would dare disagree with anything that happens in this game would be them, right? Those types.
This is an argument I literally do not understand at all about. I mean, when you look at the leaks, which I had just looked at after I finished the game, I guess you can understand. Apparently Abby is supposed to be transgender, and which it turns out that well, actually I'll get to that later, but a transgender woman apparently kills Joel. And I mean, Ellie's been gay since the first game. Like, I don't see the point. So I don't understand this argument over liking this. If you don't like this game, that makes you a Nazi or right-winged, or I mean, yeah, right-winged Nazi, all that, sexist. Like, where does that come into play? Why is that even being a thought? I played through the entire game, and not once did I think that if you dislike this game, that you are a sexist, Nazi, whatever. Okay, now this video by Griffin Gaming is different from the other two because the other two discussed the game after it came out. This one was discussing the leaks months prior, like when they first blew up and everything. This video has got to be the most ignorant video about this that I've seen so far. I mean, I understand, I guess there's always going to be some level of ignorance because you didn't actually play the game, but at the same time, he's saying these things as if they're straight facts.
Perspective of Abby, proof, the level list above. Now, this is another thing that people are really pissed off about, that Ellie is basically gonna turn out to be like the main villain of the game or whatever, which is really stupid in my opinion. Like, no one wanted that. That's one of those stupid twist endings that they're doing for shock value that no one's really gonna like whatsoever, and it's definitely not the story that anyone was really hoping for in The Last of Us 2. But anyway, that is a thing too.
Okay, now, I understand not wanting to play as Abby and fight against Ellie, but at the same time, what does that really have to do with anything? How does that make the game bad? He says that, again, he doesn't know what the game is about, but he's automatically assuming that Ellie's gonna be the main villain. And even if she was, which, I mean, that's up to debate, Joel was seen as a villain by many of the people that played the first game, because it does everything so wrong while the first game did everything so right.
point number 3. Dina is pregnant with Jesse's baby. Her and Ellie are trying to start a family. Proof from the leaked cutscene between Dina and Ellie below. Can't post it here, but just believe me, I've seen it. So basically, Ellie, a confirmed lesbian in the game, is going to basically marry a straight woman who's pregnant. They're gonna raise this child together. And, you know, you're trying to tell me this does not sound like a fucking fan fiction, dude. This sounds like the typical shipping bullshit you find on Tumblr. Like, I would actually have respect for Naughty Dog if they came out and said, you know, we've had a lot of people leave our studio recently from...
This guy does know there's bisexual people out there, right? He's automatically assuming that just because she's having a baby with Jesse makes her straight. And I feel like that's an important part of the story that pushes Ellie to at the end to like finish the game because she tried to live that normal life, but she just couldn't. And then he just discusses other plot points from the leaks in a very sarcastic and distasteful way.
It's not like they actually have the voice actor say
Really
wants
can't
to
believe
kill
they
her.
did my boy Joel so dirty, dude. He's gonna get beat over the head with a fucking golf club by the GameStop ma'am.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, this one was kind of a funny joke, but regardless, okay. What's the big deal with Joel getting killed by a golf club? Would it have made it better if he was killed by a baseball bat or something? Like, or getting shot in the head? Also, Abby is not trans. Look, at the end of the day, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody can like whatever they want and dislike whatever they want. But people are over exaggerating this over like large proportions. I played the game, so I played The Last of Us 2 without knowing any of the leaks. I only saw the trailers that Sony released, and I went open-minded. I actually went there with super high expectations, and they were actually met. Everybody just goes into the game. Everybody that's reviewing the game or that's giving their opinions or thoughts or whatever goes into the game with a terrible mindset that they're already going to hate it for whatever reason.